Do it. Rosé.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, TK. Rosé time. Thought this week's just going to jump in before Christmas, and we thought we'd do something that, I don't know, this wine came in just recently. I got this in, and the thing for me with rosé, and we talk about drinking with our eyes, I mean, there's something about the colour of this wine that just makes you want to sort of bathe in it.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It's very pretty. It's that really sort of light pinkish, almost got that slightly sort of onion skin kind of colour, which is a really traditional. We talk about rosé, often people always reference Provençal rosé, and they say that you want pale, dry and savoury, and this is exactly that from the team from the Giant Steps in the Yarra Valley. We love these guys, and this is this is 12% alcohol as well, so it's not a big, powerful wine.
Yeah.
And that sort of tells me that there's prettiness there, but often, for some reason in Australia as well, people think rosé is sweet. Traditionally it probably has been. I think a lot of people may be referencing the old Matusa rosé. It's a slightly different product for those.
There's a lot of sweet rosés in the market, but isn't there?
Yeah, I mean there is and there isn't. I think there's a difference between fruit sweet and sugar sweet.
Yeah,
you've got that sort of that feeling of sugar as opposed to that really just crisp sort of fruit sweetness that you kind of want. You want that sort of strawberries and cream thing, which is exactly what this is. It's almost like the Allen's lollies, where you get that really sort of bright, it's almost like a raspberry sort of slightly confected sort of character, but it doesn't mean the wine's going to be sweet.
No.
And I think that's a lot of the things that sometimes we get confused by that. But this is not sweet in any stretch.
No, it's certainly
at all.
not.
What do you think?
No, it's not. It's delicious. Really well balanced. I think it's we always talk about smashability of it. That's for me the quintessential Sunday afternoon on the back deck wine.
Yeah, I don't think they'll last very long in an esky. I remember talking to someone, wasn't that long ago, and he was talking about going to a party and how it used to be he'd always take a 6-pack of beer, and you just sort of put it in the esky and you'd share it and everything else, and you'd probably end up with a couple of beers to take home, so to speak. But he said about 3 or 4 years ago he started taking a bottle of rosé, and he never walked out with any of it because everyone would just neck it.
Yeah, right.
It's just like that sort of like that idea of drinking culture changing a little bit as well, where we're sort of we're not just about and particularly this guy who's a big burly bloke, beer drinking bloke, but he just loves rosé, and it's like, well, we all do really, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone that didn't like that style of wine.
No, totally agree.
I think the thing is, a lot of people again will avoid rosé because they do think it's sweet, but
I think the hardest part around Christmas time as well is you've usually got people over at your house, so you're trying to appease the masses, and if you venture anywhere there's two left to centre, you might have somebody that goes, I don't really like that, have you got something else? And you don't want to go down that track, but that for that calibre of wine, it's certainly, no doubt, it's going to be a crowd pleaser.
I think this thing is like, I don't know if I want white, I don't know if I want red, where do I go? Hello, let's go in the middle.
Mate, how good would a dozen oysters be with that as well?
I think that's the thing. I mean, this wine in particular, but I think rosé in general is really versatile.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about like the charcuterie board. Something like this, you got some olives, got some artichokes, some roasted peppers and that kind of thing, and all of a sudden, because the acids are there.
Sliced meats.
Yeah, sliced meats. Just keep it simple as well. Again, I think it's one of those things where this wine isn't going to be something you're going to necessarily think about in 10 years' time.
Yep. But
you will just absolutely thoroughly enjoy yourself when you're drinking it. I think that's a really positive thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what I might do with this one, with a recipe, I think we should all have a bit of a think about a good antipasto board. But I think so I'm not being lazy this week. I might even put up a couple of really nice dressings that can go with oysters. Yeah. Because I really feel that if I was to do an antipasto board at home and I'd put a cheeky little half dozen oysters on the side with a nice little dressing on there, I think everybody's going to think you're pretty posh at Christmas time. You're not being a cheapskate with an antipasto plate. So I'll do that, like a beautiful mignonette dressing. Really fresh oysters, like the Pacific oysters we're getting in here at Market Bistro at the moment are unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, we're very fortunate this week to eat at Sales. The oyster,
Tuesday's oysters are
good. The Sydney Rock oysters up there at the moment are just in such great condition. So it's oyster season, so have a crack at them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Giant Steps Yarra Valley Rosé 2021 from the great team of Giant Steps. Little pink wine, just getting in the mood for Christmas. So enjoy. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.